What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. I am back. The Cliffo is in. He's still in Portugal, but he is back, and he's back for Villa's first loss in 4 games in the Premier League. So, anyway, Gary, how you doing?
Right, yeah, I'm good, mate. I've been a bit lonely because you've just fucked off, haven't you, and just left me to the reins, and I've managed to, I don't know, put everybody up.
We somehow managed to lose 4 subscribers in the time that I've been away. So everyone, you would like to subscribe, hit your little hype thing. I think it's refreshed today, so you got 3 hype. Give us them all.
Whoop, whoop. Monday morning refresh. Monday morning refresh. So yeah, I don't know, mate. I find myself trying to work out this stupid fucking algorithm, and I'm going round in circles. That fucking book is bullshit. Right?
Don't bother trying to work it out, mate. Just concentrate on producing good content that people want to watch, which this first minute has not been.
I think that's the key, right? Producing good content. Maybe that's the problem. We're not doing that. We think our fucking lives, mate.
No one wants to watch this shit. But anyway, quickly, just on our ball. So as always, we've been running this competition to win a signed ball from the squad last season. Hit this QR code at the bottom, or hit the link in the description, or I will pop a little card up in the corner. Gary's spinning it as always. Oh God, I thought he was going to knock something off then. You'll also find him some signed memorabilia from Peter With and Brian Little. We were originally going to run this up until like Christmas time, but we are probably going to extend that a little because we were looking to try and hit £1,000 donated to our Acorns. I think we're about 400 quid at the minute. Thank you so much to everyone for your donations so far. It's been brilliant. But yeah, we would like to hit some bigger numbers, and we are looking to maybe do something in the new year, some kind of some kind of live event or something. So we'll see how we get on there. Anyway, enough of that drivel. We will be talking about Liverpool.
Let's talk about this drivel.
Let's talk about exactly. So we will be talking now about Liverpool. We will be going we'll have our usual moving images and stuff. So please do stay tuned for those. Let us know in the comments what you think. We are going to talk a little bit about the playing out from the back. Emi Martinez, what's going on? What's going on a little bit with Emi Martinez? It just feels a little bit off. But yeah, before we get on to that, Gary, what were your thoughts immediately after that game on Saturday?
My initial thoughts, mate, were I was fucking fuming, if I'm honest, because and the reason, and I know this is my extreme kind of fucking take on it, because overall thought we did okay, but when you go, I thought we turned a corner, right? And it's that full sense of hope where obviously my wildest dreams, 6 points out of 9 against Spurs, City, and Liverpool is a magnificent return. However, it's the nature of that defeat, mate, against the Liverpool side that aren't prime Liverpool, that aren't ripping teams apart, that are vulnerable at the back, that we just didn't ask enough questions. And if I'm honest, we've made too many mistakes. We've made too many mistakes that have gifted them the game. And I'm fuming that Mo Salah gets his 250th Premier League goal against us. And Emi Martinez,
if there's a milestone to be hit, mate, and if there's a run to be ended, it's going to be Villa, isn't it?
It's just, why are we that team? Why are we that team? Do you know what I mean? Why can't we be the team that are pushing on for Champions League football? Why have we got to be that team that fucking galvanised Liverpool into a championship push? I was talking in our WhatsApp group, and I think every fan feels like this about their own team, right? Like because you only really, obviously lots of people watch lots of games of football, even if it's not their own team. But I think you only care when you look at the statistics and the specific things about games that are your team. So I think we always think, why is it everyone always ends their run against Villa? Why is it everyone always ends their duck against Villa? What if a player hasn't scored for 10 games, he's going to get a hat-trick against Villa? It's I think it's just team bias. I think it's just the team you support, really. Well, we shot our second episode of Claret and Brewery yesterday. Right, and we spoke about that. That's out tomorrow, which you can check out, right? And I think someone said we've got to give credit to Liverpool, and I was like, no, we haven't got to give credit to Liverpool.
I don't think they were that good.
I don't think they were that good.
I thought they were there for the taking, mate. I really did. We'll get onto the gifts. I think let's start getting onto the gifts, because we start off early with this Morgan Rogers effort, which, by the way, lovely pass, by the way, from Watkins, and a great, what a hit.
Oh, mate, he's unlucky. It gets a slight deflection, which takes it onto the post. I don't know if the keeper would have saved it. I think it comes off whoever puts that tackle in, Slobosly or whatever. But it's a fabulous effort, mate. And like I say, we started really well. And I thought Watkins and Rodgers looked lively. And, we just... Goals change games, don't they, unfortunately? And if that goes in...
That got in, mate. Oh, my God. I think because then not that long after this, by the way, this is a player with confidence, isn't it? To even think of having a shot from there was mad.
I'm surprised then we didn't sub him off, mate, straight away. Fucking, what? Oi, get off, shooting from outside the area 2 weeks in a row.
To be fair as well, look at, is it McGinn at the back post?
Yeah, no, that's what, if I'm honest, watching this live, mate, I was like, you've got hit McGinn. Look how much space is at the far post. So the fact that he took that shot on, right? I mean, it was unlucky in the end because it gets deflected. Obviously, the keeper makes a wonder save onto the crossbar. But I thought McGinn was probably the pass there. But as we all thought that he should have played it back to the keeper when he made that magnificent pass against Spurs. Sometimes you got to take risks, right? High risk, high reward, which is kind of what we played on Saturday, mate. But we didn't get the reward because the risk was too much.
We'll get into the playing out from the back, which is the big debate around the risk-reward kind of factor with it. But just again, onto that positive first half here, Ezri Konsa, mate. The guy is just different levels. What a block that is. What a block. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then shortly after this, obviously, I mean, it literally comes back out here, and that's when they get their offside goal. Yeah. And Konsa, again, has had the mind, he's just made that incredible block. The ball's gone back out. And he's got the mind to just step up a tiny bit, which catches Ekatike offside. Like, guys,
I'm running out of superlatives about him, mate. I just think he's been...
I'm worried about us keeping him, though, mate.
Well...
I'm really worried.
Apparently, as of yesterday, Man City are sniffing around. So I heard rumours. Right?
Surely he's going to speak to Jack and go, do I want to go there? And do you think Jack will say yeah?
Of course he will. Like I don't think Jack regrets that move one bit, mate.
I think he regrets it, but it's killed him.
Well, but you're talking about a centre half, and actually looking at Man City. I watched their game against Bournemouth yesterday, and they're desperate for a centre half, mate. Someone like Konsa. No, I'm not saying that Konsa's going to go, but at the same time, if Konsa goes to the World Cup and plays, which you think at the moment he would, he's been England's best player in the last 3 games. I would arguably say he's going to go. I think there'll be an offer, and we have to let him go. I don't mind it because he's give everything for the Villa shirt, mate. And at a time where 3 years ago, I didn't think he was good enough when Mings got his ACL injury. Konsa struggled initially, but then I don't know, something just clicked in him, and he thought, I've just got to step up, and he did, and he has.
It always used to be. He's good, he's brilliant, but he has to have someone next to him. Yeah. Whether that's Mings or someone who was organised in the back four, whatever. But he's just completely, over the last season or two, he's just completely taken on that mantle. He now has to be there. Otherwise, Torres is just in
mate,
disarray.
I generally thought Konsa on Saturday looked head and shoulders above everybody on that pitch. Any Liverpool defender, I thought he was unbelievable. And he made Torres look ordinary. I thought Torres was really poor again. This is what I'm talking about. Like, people have slagged me off for going, he's been brilliant last 3 games. And he has done, because every team's played in front of us. The moment you've got a team like Liverpool who are high pressing you and putting you back towards your own goal, struggles, mate, gave the ball away so needlessly, time and time again on Saturday. And I don't know what fuming.
I don't know what the latest is on Mings. Obviously going off looks like a hammy.
Nah, mate, he's done, and he cropped. He's come back from injury. He went off with a heel, now a hamstring. He was on for he felt like 30 seconds, and then we ended up finishing the game with 10 men. So, that's worrying. We've got, Bogard could play centre half if we need a replacement, but it'll look like it'll be
Lindelof, mate.
And you've got, I forgot about him. Fucking hell.
Lindelof. You can do a job, but now you've got your main centre back alongside Konsa as Pau Torres for every game, and he doesn't suit every game, doesn't suit every team you're playing against, like you were just saying. Then I'm just going to look at now some of the stuff leading up to that first goal. Now this is Emi Martinez and his distribution. Now this ball. Now we talked before, to be fair, about how getting at Liverpool is potentially a little bit more direct than going out from the back. So obviously we've done stuff around the back, and then arguably, is this what he's trying to do here? Is this what? And I think both times he's tried to hit Gesson. When I look at both.
But mate, I just think in that instance it was it what's his name? Ashley Williams on Match of the Day said, like, you've got a striker like Ollie Watkins, you know, against the Liverpool defence that are shaky. Why aren't you hitting that? So I don't
understand because like I said here, like this is the other one. Both look like they're trying to hit Gesson. So there and here trying to hit Gesson. I'm like, why aren't we trying to hit Ollie? Why are we trying to hit into Gesson to get it?
And the question is, why are you trying to hit Gesson? Because mate, I've tried to build like in his defence the last few games because he's worked hard and he's helped Cash out. But going forward, mate, I'm struggling to see what this guy offers. He was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And so, clearly he's struggling to get to grips with the pace of the Premier League. And there was a couple of moments where I thought I was going to text you because I watched him looking around like a lost sheep again. I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, mate, you're playing Premier League football. Like, how have you made it? Like, what are you doing looking around? He looked like a rabbit in the headlights.
I feel like the Sancho thing, he's a loan deal. There's no option to buy. Seems to maybe have some attitude issues as well, from what we can tell, potentially. And then Harvey Elliott, I just don't think Emery is feeling him. I don't think he's feeling it. I have a belief that he doesn't want to trigger that clause unless he absolutely has to. And I feel like he's just not. Maybe we're not going to really see him, if I'm honest. Now, Emi Buendia is obviously out and stuff. You'd think that he might get more minutes sharing.
Well, mate, the rumours are that Buendia is going to be back for Thursday. Like that.
Oh, really?
That's the rumour mill. It will be interesting to see if Harvey Elliott's used on Thursday because I think he needs to play on that right side. I'm getting frustrated that we're not utilising the squad properly. Like I just, we're bringing people on with very little time to go. Like most of our substitutions were made after the 70th minute on Saturday, and we're 2-0 down. But like you might as well go for it. And
I don't know. I always have a theory. Like I think I've said it before about the games before Europe, where he usually makes those subs about 20 minutes just to give some of those players who are potentially going to play like just some minutes to get them a little bit sharper. That's my theory of those subs. I think he knew the game was gone. He was like, I need to get these players on. I need to get them a minute.
Yeah, maybe, but there's question marks around for me. Gesson was the first one, but mate, this is going to be controversial because he's been outstanding in the last probably 3 or 4 games. But I thought Luca Dean was absolutely fucking shocking, mate. Like, he's one of our most experienced defenders, and usually so sound defensively. Answer me why 5 times in that game he tried to clatter Mo Salah, right?
He's decided to go on him, and he's just done him
every time. Like, mate, what the fuck are you doing, you prick? Right? Like, because ultimately, Salah's lost a yard of pace. You don't need to be touch tight.
I can only imagine they've seen something and they've gone, Salah struggles against this or something. I don't know. Because I thought the same. I was like, why has he gone so in on him?
Yeah,
and he's just completely done him. And now he's in that position.
After the third time, you've got to change the tactic. After the third time, you've been done. Right? It nearly cost us. And I have to say, when Matson came on, I just thought he looked more solid. Like the pace, the header at the far post defensively was brilliant. And he links up well with Jadon Sancho. He looks more lively going forward. I just want to see him get some even minutes. Like, I'm not saying I dislike Digne because he's been outstanding. He has, right? But you've got to shit needs to be called out, and that was not good enough against a poor Liverpool side. And everyone's going. We were talking about this last night in the pub, and we were talking about you're being disrespectful to Salah. Who's still but look at Salah's performances this season. He hasn't been a world beater. He looks a yard off the pace. And actually, we've made him look good because any good footballer, and he is a good footballer, if you dive in on him, he knocks the ball past you when he goes. And Dean, you should know better. So I was really disappointed. Like, first couple of times, I thought, okay, fair enough. You're trying to get in, trying to clatter him, trying to let him know you're present. But it happened 3 or 4 times in the first half, I think, and he just didn't learn. And it happened again in the second half. I was like, mate, he's turning you on a sixpence, and you're making us look like a complete cunt. So just, sort your life out.
Yeah, and then, but speaking of complete CUNTs, this this is just inexcusable, isn't it? This, like, what? What is he doing,
mate? And do you know what? The timing of it, mate. The timing.
Or was it 45 plus 2 or something?
Yeah.
It's just the thing that gets me with it is a couple of things, right? One, why in this situation, why are you playing the ball to Torres where there's a player who is arguably in your eye line? There's a player waiting behind him, like in Salah, and you've got Konsa, free as a bird, who we know is a wonderful footballer, and he's just sat, he's just waiting. Just play that. Just open up your body and just play that ball out. Decides to play this. And, oh, mate. And also, I don't know if you've seen like the I didn't get a picture of it, but when they showed you like the close-up of Emery playing it, he's not looking at where he's playing the ball. He's looking down. And I'm like, has he? So actually, is it actually that he's played it to where he thought Torres was and Torres moved, or is it just a really bad pass? I think it's a bit of both. But it's just terrible.
Two things. If he ends up signing for Liverpool, right, I'm fucking going to be fuming because that's an assist right there. Right.
Well, he thought he was signing for Man U and he got a red card on the last game of last season. So maybe there is something in that.
Do you know what I mean? It's an audition. I just always wanted to play with Mo Salah. Look at that for an assist. We can link up, right? Oh, fucking hell. Right. And the great thing for that, in the goal, you watch Konsa's reaction. Mate,
it's so funny. Where is it? Here it is.
Look, just watch him at the bottom of the screen here.
Hang on. So that's depressing. He's literally jumping up. Yeah, because he's like, why have you done that? Just for simple mistakes, simple basic mistakes. And we thought we'd snub these out because we had these pre-season, we had these earlier in the season, and then we haven't really had them. That is just
it's so frustrating because you know that if that game goes to 0-0 at half time, second half's a very different game. I feel, you know, and I just don't think we recovered from that. And it says,
go on.
We were just, I don't know, it knocked the stuffing out of us because second half we didn't come out, mate. I thought we were really poor second half overall.
Well, it affected Martinez. Look at this. Like, so look how hesitant he is here. Doesn't know what to do. Yeah. And this led to their second goal, by the way. So like here, he's literally like, I want to play it that way now because I don't want to play it to Torres again and fuck off. So he's like now, so that passing lane's cut off and they're pressuring him. They know it's going to happen and the crowd's getting on his back. It's just frustrating. And then, you know, that basically leads to this.
But mate, look, I mean, look, what's
goal?
No, so Slabberslide, explain to me Torres' movement here, mate, right? Because we get bypassed here. Watch what Torres does. He goes towards Slabberslide when Cash is tracking back, and so then he has to. He's too slow to react then, and when he makes the tackle, like he has to go to the ball for me. Like you can see, it's only little things, but you can see Cash getting back. Now, if he plays the ball through to Slabberslide and Cash doesn't, it's Cash's fault but you're coached. You always go to the ball, and if the ball goes past you, then you've done your job. You don't let someone carry the ball 2 or 3 yards to the edge of your area to get shot away and then react because it's too late.
Stretch for it and knock it,
and ultimately get a deflection. Like if he goes straight to the ball in that initial movement, so he's giving the ball away with a terrible ball forward, right? And then he's just out of position and he doesn't commit to the right area, which means that the goal is the goal. But again, two very poor goals to concede, and not from Liverpool destroying us or anything, from sloppy possession and a deflected goal just annoying, mate, because we've done so well.
It's and this is part of the discussion, right? Because both of these have come from playing out from the back, right?
Yeah.
And we've often talked, I think a lot of people talk about it's too risky, it's something we shouldn't do, we look nervous when we do it. I don't actually think we do look nervous anymore when we do it. Like now, when I'm at Villa Park, the amount of people around me are like, "God, what?" I'm just like, well, it's what we do. Just chill out. Like we play it out here, we knock it round, we beat the press, and we get off. That's what we do. And the players are now so comfortable doing it. Just in this situation, it is high risk, but it's high reward because you look at this, and we did this a few times. This is what happens when it works.
Yeah,
you break that press, and you've got such space to run into in the midfield.
Yeah.
This is a really good opportunity. I think that's when it goes out to Cash. But you can see here, and it starts with Kamara and Torres, and that's what we're looking to do throughout the whole game. And it is high risk. it's high reward. I think it works more times than it doesn't.
Well, mate, I think
when it doesn't work, it looks horrible.
I just think I would have liked to have seen us just mix it up slightly. I've got no problem with that because, like you say in that clip there, it shows. I thought Rodgers was excellent and that's where you get the best out of Rodgers in picking the ball up there and cause the problem. I thought he looked more like his old self on Saturday again right. On the ball and getting back and tracking back, and he did really well. But we just played into Liverpool's strengths. They are a pressing team, and so as much as that's our way of playing. Sometimes you've got to go, okay, right. Liverpool's weaknesses in the last 4 games have been balls being played into their box. They haven't dealt with them, long throw-ins, long balls. Because defensively they've been all over the place, and we didn't really test them that way. We stick to the way that's Unai ball, right? That's how we play. But we made too many mistakes, and I just would have liked to have seen first maybe 10, 15 minutes us try and put them on the back foot first. And if they keep coming, then fine, we play the way we play. But that's what football's all about. It's fine margins and decision making. I don't understand why we can't do both. Why we can't play 2 times that in one game against a team that ultimately love to press, want to put you under pressure. Probably more so than Man City did last week, and we did it really well against Man City. But I don't think their press is as tight as Liverpool, and you've got to be really accurate. And if you give the ball away,
direct now the way that City play, they're starting to go a little bit more long ball to try and hit Arne early. But it's just frustrating because actually I think we spoke about this before. Like when I was watching the game, I think it was about half an hour in or something, I was like, man, I was saying to my father-in-law, I was like, blooming now, this game's stretched. Like it just feels like it's just literally going end to end.
End to end, it was.
2 presses who have been broken and they're just breaking on each other. But there wasn't actually a lot end product happening. There wasn't, I mean, there's a few chances that, Martinez had to like make a simple save, but it was like deflected, or a long shot was deflected. Or,
but mate, all of Liverpool's chances came from us giving the ball away.
Yeah, missed mistakes. Yeah, no, I agree. But also and then obviously you have the Rodgers and the Cash chance. But other than that, there wasn't a lot. So we've actually just lost to a stupid mistake at half time, basically, and the deflected goal. And it's like we said, football is these fine margins, and when you're against these teams, they will be a little bit more clinical. And if anything, they look like they were going to get a third than us get.
I don't think we had a shot on target in the second half, mate. We had a chance from Ross Barkley, who I thought did well when he came on.
I thought
Jadon Sancho looked lively. Matson looked lively when they came on, and we kind of huffed and puffed. But again, we're trying to play through them rather than over them, and it just didn't. They're well organised. They're defending the lead, and Liverpool weren't going to give that up because they needed the points really. So we didn't really create much in the second half, which was disappointing. I don't know if. I guess we move on and go.
As always, right?
It was a bad day at the office. But what I do worry about, mate, is our mentality. Like, I've said this a couple of times. Like, Emery has done such an amazing job at Villa, right? That he's got a squad of players that I don't think necessarily believe they are up there with the higher echelons. Like, and you go, I think part of that loss on Saturday is the mentality of, well, we've just beat City and Spurs, and that's amazing. This is a free hit, so we don't really need, and we didn't go into it with that. We're going to win this game even our record at Anfield is poor. We've played 32 games at Anfield in the Premier League era. We've lost 20.
Oh, is it 20 now?
It's 20. We've lost 20, mate. Drawn 6 and won 6, and that's just poor. And I just think when you go, to a ground like that where you're not, you don't pick up points. I think the psychology is already there that you're not quite there, even though all the rhetoric is, oh yeah, we believe.
And this is where this is why the rumours start of Ezri Konsa going to City or whoever, because the players, the top players, or they maybe don't believe they're quite that level, or maybe they do, or they don't feel like Villa are, or they don't feel like Villa can get there. And so then the second they come calling, their heads are turned, and then they move on, which obviously happens with a lot of big clubs and with smaller clubs. But we are primed. We are primed and ready here to kick on and really be that top 6 contender every season. And we still are this season. I still the table's so tight in and around it at the moment. It's so early that.
Well, everybody's beating everybody. I think the top 12
exactly.
are like it's all to play for, right? We're still 3 points off third, so it's not exactly
exactly. It's not crazy. Right? We've got Bournemouth. We've got Bournemouth next in the league.
Yeah, you know, and that's a massive game now this Sunday. They're a good side, and I just you know I guess, and I've said this before, like I feel like we're so close to something like brilliant, and it's just, have we quite got the squad to get us there? Probably not. And in Emery's defence, he hasn't really had proper transfer windows of the players he wants to bring in because of PSR, because of whatever. Like,
I don't want to keep talking about that.
No, but right now, mate, we are lacking firepower. Like again, we're minus goal difference again. Like we're not scoring loads of goals, right? It's relying on the same people. I thought Watkins was dreadful second half. He lost him. He was okay first half, but the second half he was awful. And you know, then you look at news around the world. You've got fucking John Duran and Marco Asensio scoring for Fenerbahce this weekend, and you know, and Marcus Rashford for Barcelona, 7 goals, 5 assists. These are quality players, mate, that we had and have let go, and you just go
Rashford.
Yeah, mate. There's an interesting article for those of you in the Guardian today, right? So because Watkins has scored 1 goal, mate, and had no assists in 10 games, right? And
Watkins is a really difficult situation right now, and I think most of it. I mean, Emery will be aware. I think everyone's quite aware that he's either peaked or he's just not at it, and he's just lost his kind of psychological confidence or something. Something's gone on there. You don't just suddenly do this,
mate. This is from Tom Bassam of the Guardian. I think this is an interesting quote. So just check this out. It's only a couple of lines. It says, Villa are creating chances at a similar level to last season, right? 1.28 xG v 1.32, right? So it's similar thing. We've talked about this loads. He's missing 33 big chances, and after a sticky start, Villa have been playing well before the Anfield. Yeah, we've had 4 decent games. He says if Unai Emery's system is not working for Watkins, right, but he's working for the team generally, then it's down to the player to figure out a solution.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right, and that's my concern with Watkins, and has been for 2 seasons, that we go, it doesn't fit this system. But Emery's told him what's expected of him, and so it's not that he doesn't know. I feel in the last 2 seasons, 1, the quality's not there because we've created the chances, and 2, he's not doing the things that he probably could be doing to give himself a better chance of scoring. Whether that be working on finishing, whether being in certain positions, whether choosing to run with the ball. There's a couple of times in the first half, even though I thought he did okay, where he hesitated before he ran at defenders, and he had the space was there, and you go, everything just seems a little bit reactive rather than proactive from Watkins, and so I just totally agree with that statement. Like it's down to him to put it right, because you can't blame Emery now. He's getting the minutes. He's the main man. We've created chances. He's just not doing it, mate. And which begs the question: is he good enough?
I think if we said this before, I think we got Champions League last season because all these PSR issues wouldn't have been the same. I think we would have upgraded on Watkins or an alternative, whatever.
Yeah.
Alternative, whatever. The fact we didn't meant that we couldn't improve because of the PSR financial issues. And so, like you said, it is on Watkins, but I think Watkins knows that he's currently in the England squad. Danny Welbeck's probably got something else to say about that at the moment. But
he's outscored by an old age pensioner at the moment.
It's unbelievable, and he's how good's that at the moment. But he's arguably a foot into that England team anyway. He probably will get a move, like whether that's as a backup to one of the big 6 or one of the top 7. So where's the need for him to really go, well, I'm going to change the way I play now. I've been playing like this all this time. I'm probably not going to be here in 8 months. Yeah. So why should I completely change my game? Why would he? I understand, obviously, as a professional, and you want to win games.
Well, mate, why would he? Like, because if he's not going to be around at the Villa in 8 months' time, like he's going to want to go somewhere, and who's going to want to buy a player that
I just think they will. They will because his track record and his body of work is big enough that he still will. But he'll go for cup money. He won't go for 60.
I politely disagree, mate, because I think his age is a big factor against him. If he was 28, 29, and you go, okay, we know what we're going to get, and we've got another couple of years of playing at the highest level. But if he's already falling off now at 30, there's no way he's going to get any better. There's just, and if you're not getting the same, so at the moment, Watkins doesn't look like he's not going to be nowhere near his tally of the last few seasons. Like, he's just not.
No, he's not. No,
but if you're wrong, I want him to prove me wrong. But
if you're Arsenal or Newcastle or whoever, and you're looking for a really, really good backup striker for 20 mil, would we accept that? Probably.
I would, mate. I think he needs to go.
So I'm just kind of like, I think he might know he's at that end of his career.
Maybe.
He's happy to go to a big team, potentially win stuff, experience Champions League, all these things that he's going to do season on season at those teams. And he's okay on the bench.
I just want him to get to that level with us because I see the potential.
Of course, I freaking love it. I've been loving.
Why can't he just fucking sort his shit out? Why is it all like it just? Because
there's something that's happened. And like we said, he didn't get that move to Arsenal. Whether that's turned his head, whether tweaks in the way we play just doesn't suit him anymore, or something, I don't know. But and like he was saying on the Telegraph, he says if the Emery system isn't working for Watkins, well, it was arguably working all right last season, and it definitely worked the season before last season. So obviously it's changed, right? Which means Watkins needs to change, and that's why I'm kind of sitting there going, maybe he's just like, nah. I'm gonna change. I want to.
But I can't imagine Emery allowing that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, going.
What choices have we got?
Well,
who's he playing?
Mate, I don't know. You could play Marlon. Like, you could play Kasson down the middle.
I think we've seen. Oh, mate, Kasson. I think we've seen that Marlon can't do it on his own. And there was a really interesting article written in the Athletic, I think, a few weeks back or something, around Marlon and his position and how he is. I'll try and send it you because I know you haven't got it. But it was an interesting article around. He's not a 10. He's not a lone striker. He's a supportive striker. But a lot of teams didn't pull the trigger on him because they just didn't quite know where he fit or how he played. And it was the same. And then we obviously had that game against, who was it? He scored 2 against
Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley, right? Where it clicked. And he was that supportive striker to Watkins. And we were like, this is it. This is how he. And it worked. Whereas, no, but he hasn't been played alongside Watkins.
No.
He's been played.
I really like Marlon, mate. Even when he came on Saturday, he looks the most likely. He created a shot on goal. Like he every time he plays.
Apparently, that transfer was on the cards for like 3 years. So like it basically was like we were scouting him. We wanted it to happen. Then we couldn't do it because of financial stuff. Then there was some other issue. I think. I'll send you the article. It was really interesting talking about how it basically been on the cards. Then we saw an opportunity to do it. We did it. And then obviously we had the stuff with Rashford and Asensio, which then put him back. And then Emery hasn't quite been able to work out how he fits in. And so it's just been this difficult thing where we need a right-sided player and we haven't got a right-sided player.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a contentious point, mate, because I think we keep discussing this. It's the same point that we keep discussing. But as the weeks go by, like, if we're not seeing an improvement in that area, like we're not scoring goals. So we can talk about it till the cows come home. But at some point, you've got to try something. Like so, if Watkins isn't working and he's not willing to not adapt, then it's the same for Marlon, mate. You've got to adapt your game. We're going to play you up top on your own. You've got to work your nuts off. You've got to it doesn't work in the Premier League era that you're stuck in a fucking one position.
I won't be surprised if we look to get some kind of loan or something in Jan to give us an alternative.
Mate, if we're going to do anything this season, we need something because currently we're not utilising out all of our squad. We've got players that clearly Emery didn't want, i.e. Ivy Elliott, maybe Sancho, right, who aren't really getting a sniff. And I just think like the Sancho one's interesting because I think he's looked live last couple of games against Go Ahead Eagles. I thought he looked good. He came on yesterday, and I thought he looked good. He went off pissed off being subbed. I don't mind that. If he's going to play well, right? You know, that's annoying for any player. So, but he's got. I think Sancho's the kind of guy that you've got to put your arm around and give him a run of games. Like play now. Buendia's if Buendia's coming back from injury, right, and he might be available Thursday, but play Sancho on the left with Maatsen. Try it for like 2 or 3 games and see what happens. Right, and if Buendia's come back from injury, you can sub him off after 50, 60 minutes and bring Buendia on while he's recovering. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but he won't do that ultimately. And so we'll go into Thursday's game, and well, maybe he will in Europe. Maybe Maatsen will play. Maybe Sancho will start, and then it's down to them to perform. But what happens is if they don't perform, they don't start the next game. And I think with any player at this level, consistency is key. So if you're in and out of it, you're never going to quite see that.
And then he seems to just, and then obviously Rodgers has improved and stuff, but Watkins isn't playing well. So it's weird because when a player seems to play well, they're sometimes then out the next game. But if you want to be in this team, play shit, and you will be picked every week. It's really weird, isn't it?
It's no secret that Emery's got his favourites, right? And Rodgers could have one leg and still play, mate. Oh, that's as simple as he's never been dropped ever, right? So,
and arguably his last 3 performances or so, it's kind of been
it's chalk and cheese. Like I genuine, not even what he's done on the ball, what he's done off the ball. Work rate has been brilliant. And I came on here and I slated him, and I went on Sky and did it because he was awful and it looked like he'd down tools. But the last 3 games, he's absolutely put a shift in. And that's all you want to see, mate. Okay, if you're going to move or whatever, but fucking work hard, you prick. Right? So
my father-in-law keeps constantly going, whenever he does something good on the pitch or something, he always goes, and obviously he scored that goal against City. And he was like, oh, there was some podcaster or some guy who said, oh, take the money for him, take the money like this. So I was like, look, at the time, I bloody would have. I think, he's just completely, like you said, chalk and cheese. He's just totally different player now. But the Watkins thing, I don't know what we're going to do. And even if we get Redmond back, just try, like I said, try other things. But I think if you're going to do that, though, you're basically then going, right, Watkins, you're out. Because we know that how he is as a confident player and all this kind of stuff, where if he is dropped and he's and we're trying other things and he's not playing, he's not going to come back in and start playing well. So I think that's done, basically.
I agree, but even if we're going to stick with what we've got, right? Even if this is what we're going to be stuck with, Watkins and whatnot, we've still got to work as a team on increasing that XG, because 1.28 is not good enough. For a team that's trying to challenge for the top half of the division, you're going to.
I don't know what the average XG is for other teams. I mean, I'd like to say a goal a game is if your XG is obviously your expected goals, so goals that you should score from the chances you get. There's always usually 1 or 2 that come that are not, they're a longer shot or something like a deflected goal or whatever it is. Yeah. So I would like to say that if you've got an XG of over 1, you're more than likely in quite a few games going to score 2. So actually, I don't know if that's bad. So as someone in the comments, let us know what the kind of average are in the other team. So actually, I think we've said it this season. Well, not earlier in the season. Earlier in the season, our XG I think was actually 0.
Yeah, well, we hadn't scored in 5 games, obviously it was low.
Mate, we were saying we were struggling to create a chance, let them score goals. So obviously our chances have increased. We're just not clinical.
Yeah.
And we've said it time and time again about Watkins and stuff. He has to have. It was something I think there was a stat before the game, and it was his conversion shot percentage. So last season I think was 20-something%, and this season it's been 8. And I was to Graham, I was like, that means he has to have more than 10 shots to score a goal. He's a striker. What the? It's bonkers.
No, it's not good.
We'll continually talk about Watkins until he goes, I reckon.
Well, yeah, of course, mate. Look, at the end of the day, I've always said if he does the business, then we'll give him the praise. But he has to take the criticism when it's not. And my concern is, like you said, is he just not fussed, and he knows he's on his way out, and therefore there's going to be no improvement.
Well, like you said, he's just peaked, and he's not good enough now.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think he peaked in 23-24, mate. That was the season of his life, and he got him to the Euros, and he's had a magical moment of scoring a goal in a semi-cup final of a major competition that got us through to a final, and played in the final. and that's amazing for him. But he hasn't really pushed on. He struggled from the moment he came back from the Euros, and he's just not been anywhere near what's needed. Because ultimately, if we are going to be pushing for the top echelons of that top 5, top 4 going forward, we need something else. Like we just do, and I'm sure that going forward in the next couple of seasons, it will happen. What I don't think is going to happen, and what we can't expect as fans is it to happen overnight. I think our model's going to be based on a slow kind of build of what Spurs have had to do in terms of mediocrity for a long time to get financially sound, to build a decent stadium, to invest in the infrastructure, to grow a global brand. To now where Spurs next season are going to be dangerous because they've got fucking money they can spend out their ears. So their transfer in the next 2 windows are probably going to be fucking spectacular, right? And that's the place we need to get to. So we've just got to probably just strap in. And what I do think, though, I think we'll be better than Spurs at it because we've got a better manager and a better general squad. So I think we're just going to have to sacrifice maybe wanting to finish us high up in the league as 5th or 4th and just try and win that Europa League. And get in it that way and keep around that thing while we're building this thing over the next couple of seasons. Because I genuinely believe that our owners are in it for the long haul. Because they could have easily jumped ship by now with all the fucking restrictions that have been on and gone, fuck this bullshit. There's no need for it. But I think they believe in the project. I think they believe in what I've just said and building it up from scratch to something that is going to be a power. I think it's coming, mate. But I think it might take maybe 2 or 3 seasons to get there. So we're just going to have lots to talk about and lots of frustrations because it feels like we're not going to be able to go out and spend 150 million on a striker. It's going to have to be a diamond in the rough from somewhere. So
exactly.
Watch this space.
I think that's a good final thoughts there, guys. If I'm honest, that was a nice little monologue. I'm just gonna. So we will be back probably. I think Wednesday. I think Gary might be back with Ben to do a preview for Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Going to be on Thursday night, and then obviously we're going to try and do a preview, a reaction to that, and then a preview for the Bournemouth game this weekend as well. It's all flowing at the moment. It's a bit crazy on the content front. I will be back from Portugal this weekend as well, so things will get back to normal for me. But anyway, Gaz, any final things on that? Otherwise, sing us out.
Yeah, just a big week this week. 2 games at Villa Park. Let's hope we can have 2 more wins and get back on track. And as always, every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
See you.
Peace and love, people.